Yes. Hello there, Site-42 staff, as well as those of you from the greater SCP Foundation. And welcome to another Dr. Sherman's Office Hours, a subsidiary of the Anomalous broadcast from Site-42. As always, I am Dr. Theron Sherman, Site Director here at Site-42 of the SCP Foundation. And as I have done for the past 10 months and counting, because the daily stream streak must remain strong, I am here to open my office doors to you, the SCP Foundation staff, to answer your burning questions about this dark and mysterious place of employment we call the SCP Foundation. So whether you have questions about the anomalies we contain, the staff who contain them, the groups of interest who try to stop us from containing them, or hypothetical containment procedures about anomalies that fall outside of the SCP Foundation's purview, perhaps from a different multiverse or pataphysical narrative level, i.e. fandom, we are here for the next approximately 2 to 3 hours to answer your burning questions about the Foundation. But before we begin, a little bit of housekeeping. First and foremost, silent follower. Thank you for the cat ears in the intro this time. You're finding more places to put cat ears to surprise me. Never not humorous, yes. Troublemakers, a lot of you. Furthermore, Sally, congratulations on being our #1 most punctual member of today's Containment Hazard Assessment team, i.e., congratulations on being first chatter. Furthermore, alongside you, researcher last, Zenith, it's called Zenith, silent follower, Just Pit, 369 Destroyer, Ellis Bright, senior researcher Alex, if I haven't said your name yet, Not a Chaos Insurgency Spy, Dr. Frogman, Not Named John, Amber, Stephen Tombari, Kitty Fly, Couscous, Alki, Philip November. Everybody who I have just named, congratulations and thank you for being here. Oh, not done yet. Rebel Commander and a Red Fail Hawk as well. Congratulations on being here punctually and thank you for being here as members of Site-42. We appreciate your membership and your service. Furthermore, interns Con, 953, History Lover, Avari, Rosehill, and Cheese. Congratulations on being here punctually and thank you for being here just for being you today. Furthermore, we have a sponsor for today's stream, everyone. Site-42 is sponsoring Site-42 today. Head to the scpstore.org to get for yourselves the Reservoir Docs t-shirt that we have released within the last few weeks. It is a very good art commissioned from a prominent SCP artist, Jade. It is a very soft and comfy t-shirt. Thank you to Jade for helping me bring this design to life, as well as the SCP store for handling the merchandising side of it. Furthermore, there are multiple SCP project Kickstarters that we need to be focusing on if we're going to succeed here. Now, #1 is the SCP Eye of the Beholder Season 1 Kickstarter. This is a audio podcast, a narrative podcast, original writing, very good voice acting. It is The pilot episode is available on Apple Podcast, on Amazon Podcast, and iHeartRadio Podcast. And the Kickstarter, we want to see this get made so that we can see where they're taking their story. So, go give this a donation if you would like to participate. Furthermore, it is not up yet, but SOM Studios, pronounced Some Studios, but I have to say SOM because it's spelled SOEM. Thanks for making your freaking name hard to pronounce and spell, guys. Branding synergy. Help me out here. Anyways, Some Studios is working on SCP Gallionic, which is an SCP anime. The SCP anime that is being worked on by at least one member of the people who made Jujutsu Kaisen. Oh my god. And so, we are waiting for tomorrow when they launch their Kickstarter. But I would suggest following it for now and being ready for tomorrow because their trailer looks pretty darn good. And so I want to see this get made. We better be on our best behavior. Signal boosters. We better be as strong as we possibly can for this once it goes live. An anime is going to be very expensive. I don't know how much it is. I just know the Kickstarter is going live tomorrow. We will see what it is, and we will see how much work we have to do. But we have to get these things made, people. Give it up for Eye of the Beholder and for SCP Gallionic. Oh my god, I wish I wasn't the broke gang. Well, Intern Todd, that just means you're going to have to share it more. Share it to other Discord servers. Make sure people know what's happening. Yeah, let me go, do... What the hell is that? What the hell is that? Trash that. I don't know what that is. My computer's doing strange things. That's all. We're fine. We're fine. So as I was saying before my browser went wonky on me, here is our teaser trailer for Gallionic. I'm backing up. So, now you know who we're teaming up with. Oh, reminder, these are not paid sponsorships from these SCP projects. I am not being paid by them to shill. I am sponsoring them by giving them shout-out time, because we support SCP projects here. That's what we do. Okay, so a couple of donations have come in during the outro. I'm going to handle those before we get to the stream subject. Girl Friday, thank you for sending a good luck, have fun. I'm sure the chat will have good luck and fun thanks to your support. Monster Check, it's been a while. Hope you've been doing well. Thank you for your first donation of today's stream. Grab yourself a waffle on your way past the commissary. Hey, Doctor, it's me. I cannot come into work today. One of the strays had kittens. Also, hi, Dr. Monster. Well, that is nice. I hope the babies are okay. Take care of those babies. Dr. Smith, thank you for sending a party hat to today's Containment Hazard Assessment team. I am certain that they are a partyin'. Phil November, thank you for sending a good job to today's Containment Hazard Assessment team. I'm sure they're doing a good job. Lil Ghost, thank you for sending a flower. I'm sure that the chat found it beautiful. Rebel Commander, thank you for donating for the first time to today's stream as well as being a member. Grab yourself a milkshake on your way past the commissary. Don't forget, save money for Containment Breach the Movie Kickstarter. Yes, when Keter Labs launches Containment Breach the Movie's Kickstarter, we will also be helping out for that. We just need to know when they're going to do it. We know it's soon, so keep paying attention. The good thing about us streaming every day is I can bring you guys the quickest news without delay. It's been helpful. Avari, thank you for sending a $100 to today's containment hazard assessment team. I'm sure they will continue to keep it 100. Alki, thank you for sending a happy poop to today's containment hazard assessment team. I'm sure that will please them for some reason. Modius Coggins, thank you for sending 2 100s to today's containment hazard assessment team. I'm sure they will keep it doubly 100. Dr. Monster, thank you for donating again to say, I'm keeping an eye on them. They're safe in the warm garage. I'll be back in work tomorrow. That sounds like a great idea. The Sorrowful One, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Grab yourself a smoothie on your way past the commissary. Hey, Dr. Sherman, just wanted to come here to say thank you because you're massive inspiration to me. Signed, Dr. Kingsley. You are quite welcome. I hope very much to inspire you guys to make art, support artists, put good in the world, be good to one another, get strong, do great things, mentally strong, physically strong, all the strong, artistically strong. So, I am happy to have helped in what way I can. Double checking notifications. Oh, Desk, thank you for sending me the picture of what happened while I wasn't paying it. Thank you, Silent Follower, for the ambush ears. Well played. Well played. And yes, Desk showed me that this did a bunch of animations that I didn't know existed. So that is very pretty, and thank you for letting me know, Desk. All right. Rose Hill, thank you for donating for the first time today. Grab yourself some charcuterie on your way past the commissary. And you said, might change from Rose Hill to just Rose or something. I don't know. Picking an identity online can be very important. Making sure it fits correctly. Making sure that it is unique enough that people don't mistake you for someone else. Not a bad strat. Work on it. Pay good attention to it. Dr. Monster, thank you for donating again. Interesting question. If we were to let 049 perform one of its surgeries on an SCP, what SCP would that be? Just curious. So, you're asking me what SCP would we allow, or should we allow 049 to perform one of its zombification surgeries on? Well, first of all, none, because then the SCP is dead and we can't test on it anymore. Not gonna happen. But let's say that that were the case. I would want it to be on something that we want to get rid of. So if it could do that to 682, I would be happy to it, but I doubt it would work. If we could get rid of that thing that way, I would also like it. Even though that's against protocol and I'm not allowed to do that. And 369 Destroyer, you have a good point. Doing it to a 3199 instance, at least those are replaceable. So we could do it with the human refuted in that way. Heat's Flamesman, thank you for your first donation to today's stream, as well as being a member. Grab yourself some thermite on your way past the commissary, just a touch. Alert! Heat Flamesman is becoming a fire hazard as he is getting tickled by SCP-999. Epsilon 9 is entering the facility once they finish their casino trip. Are those related? Or not? I don't think they're related. But I hope Epsilon 9 had a good trip. And would not SCP-999 be burned by Heat's Flamesman? I feel like that would be dangerous for the slime, and we probably should not let those anomalies interact. Dr. Monster, thank you for donating again to correctly say yes. That I assumed properly. That's good. Dr. John Smith, thank you for sending 2 happy poops to today's Containment Hazard Assessment team. I'm sure they enjoyed that for some reason. Did you start as a D class or did you just start as a doctor? Intern Ladner, the chance of a D class being promoted to SCP Foundation staff is quite low. I've only heard of it happen in very rare scenarios. No, I didn't start as a D class. I started as an archivist, of course. Now, I saw a Ko-Fi notification. Let me grab that before I forget it exists. Kitty Fly, thank you for your first donation today. Thank you, silent follower, for the cat ears. Oh, you're really sneaking these up on me today. Tricky. Kitty Fly, thank you for your first donation to today's stream, as well as going through the Ko-Fi, which only takes 3% of your donation as opposed to the 30% a YouTube Super Chat does. Plus, it gives you more characters, I'm told. So thank you for making the effort to go to the Ko-Fi. Grab yourself a waffle thin mint on your way past the commissary. If fertilizer counts as food, could we try to make SCP-4521 scream by introducing it to 3307? So, it is not... 3307... First of all, I wouldn't want to put it through all that fertilizer being dispensed. It's already enough problems for Cornucopias to dispense foodstuffs. Making it dispense all that fertilizer just seems rude. But secondly, we do know that 3307 does not get food requests from trees. When we got the agent reclaimed from the aliens who abducted him, it was in a wooded area, and the trees were not requesting snacks. So... 953, thank you for sending a GG to today's Containment Hazard Assessment team. I am certain they are having a good game because of that. Real Heats Flamesman, thank you for donating again to say, get 999 off me, it fucking burns, please. You're on fire. Slime burns, I guess it sizzles, maybe that feels like burning to a fire entity. Either way, as I said, get away from 999. It's not exactly a speedster. You can just walk away. Just walk away. It's a slime. It's not going to chase you that fast. Wait, wouldn't that be a relief for 3307? Probably the first regular poo it's had in a while. Yeah, but Intern Smith, what if it came out of its nose? What if it came out of its mouth? Not exactly great. Researcher Taggart, thank you for your first member message. 8-month anniversary as a level 1 researcher. We appreciate your membership and your service. And hey, I think it's been a while since I last see you. So hope you've been doing well. Hey, Dr. Sherman, I could use some help. 953 escaped. Oh, don't worry about that. 953 is currently in this chat. We are tracking. Dr. Monster, thank you for donating again to say. Last dono, how do we contain the Auditor and his AAHW organization? The Auditor is the main antagonist of Madness Combat. Well, I'm not familiar with Madness Combat outside of maybe 1 or 2 Newgrounds videos from way back in the day. The Auditor, Madness Combat. The Auditor is the main antagonist of the Madness Combat series, first debuting in Madness Combat 7, and the master of the improbability drives. Oh, boy. The Covard Army, specifically to kill Hank J. Wimbledon, allies the SQ, who are perceived threats to reality, power and abilities. Teleportation. Already, one of the most annoying anomalous abilities you can have for containment is teleportation, so I'm already annoyed. Can summon any weapon at will. Can be intangible, can be flat. Immune to all forms of physical harm like bullets and blades. Shapeshift into a giant fist in a dragon's head. Not particularly strong in hand-to-hand combat. Defeated by Jesus. Okay, we do have 6 different Jesus in containment. So maybe if we use a Jesus, we can take advantage of that weakness. And the improbability drives. Infected Jesus with a virus that severely weakened him. Very interesting. I mean, at this point, with a anytime you tell me that the entity has an army, we're looking at a group of interest, not just an anomaly. And you notice we don't contain the groups of interest. We cover up after them so they're not known to the public, but there's only so much I can do there. Rebel Commander, thank you for donating again to say, SCP digital STL files Kickstarter need our help. I don't know what that is. SCP digital STL files Kickstarter. I am unfamiliar with this project. I at least like to have a little bit of an idea before I promo something, even though usually I trust in the SCP community to be pretty good projects. SCP, STL, digital, file. Ta-da. High detail STL files for Mobile Task Force and Group of Interest insignia, 46 designs, badges, coasters, key change, 138 STL files, secure your collection. We acquired our first 3D printer, begin mastering 3D modeling as a hobby. So this is for essentially, I don't understand what this is. This is very, story, objective summary, massive geometric mimetic payload, high fidelity, printable schematics. So yes, essentially they are crowdfunding 3D printing files. I don't really understand the Kickstarter enough at this point to pimp it myself, but if that's something if I also use it on a 3D printer, I've used 3D prints before. Rebel Commander, what I don't understand is, don't people just kind of make those? Again, I have no idea about the 3D printing community, so take my ignorance here as question asking. Don't people usually just make 3D printing files and share them online as like love of the game? Do people pay for 3D printing files? I do not understand the economy here that they're asking for payment for these. What are you getting for the Kickstarter? And yeah, that's my confusion. I don't understand the economy of that. Goose is saying people pay for files. Okay. People pay sometimes, but sometimes people just put them online for free. Okay. Well, because I don't know anything about 3D printing, I'm just going to say, hey, if you search SCP Digital STL Design Files on Kickstarter, then you will find this. And if you understand the Kickstarter and want to move forward with it, then hell yeah, it's an SCP project, and we love that, even if I don't understand what it is. I don't know the people making it, so I don't know who they are or what is up with them. So I would do, of course, some fundamental research in who they are and if we think they can do what they're going to do. Do your proper due diligence, but if that's something you are interested in, then you can go support it. Let me catch up on some donations I missed here while I was trying to figure out the whole thing there. Shalena, thank you for sending a litany of 6 7s to the chat. I'm sure Desk had a very minor rage seizure about it. Dr. John Smith, thank you for sending a 100. I'm sure the chat will continue keeping it 100. Dylan Smith, thank you for sending a thumbs up. I'm sure the chat will be infected with positivity from that. Omega Private, thank you for sending a bronze medal to today's Containment Hazard Assessment team. I'm certain they will continue to strive for silver or gold, but will be glad to have received an award at all. Fext, thank you for sending a 100 to the chat. I'm sure they will continue to keep it 100. Dr. Monster, thank you for sending another donation. Okay, last dono, I swear. How do we contain Tricky from Madness Combat? He's a bit tricky for me to figure out, lol. Well, I was already on the auditor. Now I have to go back to Madness Combat again. Madness Combat. Tricky. Tricky the Clown. Great. Secondary antagonist, arch enemy of Wimbledon. Start out as an assassin. Use the power of the improbability drive to revive repeatedly. Abilities. Variety of weapons. Powers come from portable improbability drive. Jump to warp heights. Evade anyone using a type of sudden burst of speed. Body's able to withstand much more wounds than most of his foes. Can revive other people. Turn into a giant flaming demon. Yeah, tune logic anomalies are always difficult like this. You would have to probably trap them within a lower... Oh, hello, silent follower in the cat ears. Caught it the last second, I guess. I would assume that you need to contain the entity inside of a game and or story at a lower pataphysical level where it can't actually affect ours, but sometimes these online flash animations can crawl out of their videos, so even that might not work because they can scale pataphysical levels. Average Kids OC, you're not wrong, Mars. You're not wrong. Rebel Commander, thank you for donating again to say, higher quality prints in mass sometimes cost money. That does make sense. And, I mean, I can imagine the trouble they'd be having with their Kickstarter is that the 3D printing community, I don't know how large it is, but you gotta imagine every community that exists is a niche in its own, but then the SCP version of that niche is also just that smaller of a percent. So even if there are a lot of 3D printing folk out there, there are also a smaller percentage that are SCP 3D printing folk. So yeah, that's the problem, is you gotta market that to people who are in to 3D printing and SCP, that Venn diagram being somewhat smaller than the general populace. Silent Follower, thank you for more cat ears while I'm trying to explain the intricacies of niche fandom economics. By the way, you guys do realize that Synth combs through these streams for snippets of questions and answers that are interesting. That way we can make them into videos and shorts. And now that you have this power to put cat ears on me or throw little symbols on screen, I wonder just how much that's going to irritate Synth, which makes me laugh a little bit on my end since I don't have to deal with it. Intern, Regero, and Natalie. Or no, that was wrong. That was your middle name because it scrolled on me. Intern Vista and Regero, welcome to Site 42 staff. Thank you for subscribing. John Smith, thank you for sending a makeup brush so that the staff in the chat can feel bonita. Modius Coggins, thank you for sending a 100. I'm sure they will continue to keep it 100. Also, John Smith, thank you for sending another hundo. I'm sure they will continue to keep it a hundo. And, Fex, thank you for sending a floating heart. I'm sure the chat feels loved. Real Heath Flamesman, thank you for donating again to say, what if we gave SCP-420-J to SCP-173? If we give SCP-420 to SCP... Because it's already stoned? I see you. I see you. Dr. Monster, thank you for donating again. Last one for real. I gotta go. We got a coyote. Well, yeah, don't, you're protecting kittens. Do not let the coyote have the kittens, please. Silent Follower, thank you for donating your first super chat of today's stream, as well as the numerous cat ears, and for being a member. Grab yourself a slice of key lime pie on your way past the commissary. Still worth it. I am glad you are all entertained. That's the purpose of these briefings. These very serious briefings. Entertainment and education. Real Heat's Flamesman, thank you for donating again to say, how do I add the cat ears and shit? Oh boy. Down at the bottom of your phone, there should be a little present button next to the super chat button. You can only send those on a mobile device. I'm confused, since when can you do that? That functionality got added to our channel about a week or two ago, I think. But apparently, I looked at the YouTube help guide, and it's been available for a year or so. So it just took YouTube a very long time to put it on our channel. They don't roll things out universally. Usually, certain channels get it here and there along the way, and, well, it took us long enough. But why? It's another way to donate to your favorite streamers, and YouTube liked, TikTok was doing it, and now YouTube's copying them. Okay. Double check a notification here. Sapex and Cario, welcome to Site 42 staff. Thank you for subscribing. Okay. Well, it took me 33 minutes, but we're finally going to talk about the subject of today's stream, everyone. Today's stream subject. Silent Follower, thank you for derailing me one sentence in. Thank you for donating again to say, what can I say except you're welcome? What can I say except you're welcome? And where was I in my brain? Yes, so the SCP Foundation is a global secret organization that hides magic and monsters from the public. But that does not mean that sometimes anomalies don't get in front of the eyes of the public. And the times when that's most likely is when an anomaly is some sort of celebrity of sorts. I mean, you can't get much more in the public eye than that. And there are many SCPs that are relating to or simply are celebrities in one manner or another. One of the earliest SCPs that I knew about was called, let me get the name right here. Oh, of course you format, there we go. SCP-1781, codename The Moonlight Theater. SCP-1781 is a drive-in theater where every movie played on the screen will have a random character replaced by actor Hugo Weaving. And so in various films, Hugo Weaving acted as God instead of Morgan Freeman in the film Bruce Almighty. Professor X's wheelchair in X-Men 2000, in which Hugo Weaving just carried Patrick Stewart on his back, crawling from place to place like a horsey ride. Hugo Weaving was the Hercules Hydra in the Disney animated film. And Hercules had to continually chop off multiple Hugo Weaving heads. I do not understand why. Except that in a letter from the owners of the studio, they said, hey, Hugo Weaving seems to be in all the movies right now. Why don't we put Hugo Weaving in more movies? That'll get us some money. And so, yeah. 1781 is an interesting case study of celebrities being involved in SCPs. If we are talking celebrities, SCP-6690 is right up your alley, Dr. Sherman. 6690, you say? What is 6690? 369 Destroyer. Oh. Okay. News to me. Barney the Purple Dinosaur is apparently an anomaly that affects the actors portraying Barney the Purple Dinosaur. So not Barney itself, but something happening to the actors within the suit. Well, that is a lot of shock and surprise in the chat. Yes, apparently 369 Destroyer knew this whole time that Barney the Purple Dinosaur was in fact some sort of anomaly. Interesting. SCP 5004-B is popular and technically a celebrity. You are correct, researcher Aluminum. SCP 5004-B, which is President of the United States Donald Trump, is in fact anomalous. Now, technically not an SCP, because the SCP is the demon that we use Donald Trump to contain. But technically it is anomalous and a real fucking hassle these days. Hashtag clef for president. Oats, thank you for sending a bronze medal to today's Containment Hazard Assessment team so they remember to keep striving for the silver and the gold. And Oats, thank you for your first super chat of today's stream, as well as being a member. Grab yourself a Slurpee on your way past the commissary. Clones Machine is making evil me's. I gotta go help fix it. Also, may I have some 458 to go? I refueled my helicopter. It's fully functional. Who's cloning you? Why are we cloning you? Were we always cloning you? Were you a clone? Yes, I remember the clones now. I'm catching back up. Okay, yes, don't let the evils happen. And yes, you can have some pizza. Intern Duck, thank you for your first donation of today's stream. Go ahead and get some bread on your way to the commissary. Or failing that, you can have some grapes. What about SCP Battle Royale? No, we don't have an SCP Fight Club. There's no SCP Fight Club on the 7th floor gymnasium of the East Wing of Site 42. No, not on Friday night. Not at all. Nope. Ethics Committee would never allow it, and we would never do something so reckless. Someone mentioned in the chat while I was balancing out all those donations, Stephen Tambari, you are correct. I was going to mention SCP-7966 is a celebrity of the SCP persuasion. SCP-7966 is the Father, the Son, and the Holy Davis. Jim Davis, creator of Garfield, is literally Jesus Christ. Now, this is interesting because also we have SCP-3166, which is You Have No Idea How Alone You Are, Garfield, in which a mascot character suit of Jim Davis shows up and kicks Jim Davis's ass, if I'm remembering correctly. No, it doesn't attack Jim Davis in particular. Wait. Am I remembering this right? Manifestation 361, so suitable individual hereafter referred to as target, move towards the location. Okay, so it does do it to Jim Davis as well as other people. So, individuals prominently rivaled in rival media of the Garfield franchise, individuals formerly involved in the production of the Garfield comic strip, individuals involved in parodies of the Garfield franchise, vocal critics of the Garfield franchise, and Garfield creator Jim Davis. And so if anything goes wrong with the Garfield franchise, this Garfield entity shows up and beats the tar out of you and force feeds you lasagna, which it is made out of. And so it disembowels itself and then shoves lasagna in your face. So, Jim Davis is both Jesus and under constant threat of being attacked by a Garfield lasagna-filled mascot costume. Weird. Does not begin to cover it, but hey, that's the SCP Foundation. Oh, yes, Desk has alerted me, just as a reminder, the lasagna meat that 3166 force feeds you if it decides you deserve its ire is genetically identical to Jim Davis, creator of Garfield. Which means that if it is, it's automatically cannibalism if you eat that lasagna, and if you are Jim Davis, it is self-cannibalism. So, gross. The more you know. Frisk, thank you for sending a $100. Today's containment hazard assessment team. I do hope that you had. I do hope that the chat continues to keep it $100 due to your generosity. Oates, thank you for donating again to say, I'm here at the scene. So far, all the other good clones are showing up and I'm trying to turn off the machine. Pulls lever, lever breaks while staying on. Of course it does. We're not to the commercial break where we can have the all is lost moment. So, yeah, keep up the fight. Desk, stop it. Stop it. And so truly, because the lasagna meat is genetically identical to Jim Davis, if 3166 appears to you to force feed you the lasagna, not only are you eating Jim Davis, but because Jim Davis is also Jesus, eat, for this is my body. And now it's literal. Desk. And so now every time 3166 attacks someone, that is the body of Christ. Working here is weird sometimes, man. Sometimes. Sometimes, he says. Rebel Commander, thank you for donating again to say, Ethics Committee will check the East Wing 7th floor gymnasium. It's far more popular than it should be. Must investigate for potential anomaly. Nope. No anomalies up there. No, there's no anomalies at all in there. Ethics Committee liaison. Nope. Nope, nope, nothing at all to see here, especially not on Friday night. You can schedule all you want for Friday night if you want to go hang out in an empty gym where nothing's happening. Now, what other anomalies or celebrities? Now, we could always go with 9006. Because, or not 9006. 9009 is white people? Yeah, 9009 is white people. Because that just gets you a whole lot of politicians. And if we're counting politicians as celebrities, then you can do that. Technically, 5004-B was a celebrity until it became a politician, but it kind of there's some crossover there. We'll count it for technicality. They are well-known individuals that we have to cover up that they're anomalies. Oats, thank you for donating again to say, clone machine turns on and makes something that isn't human. Clones start shooting it. What is that? It dies. I need backup here ASAP. Well, it sounds like you got a whole lot of you. So, it seems that, keep it up. Do not let whatever it is escape the cloning machine, please. All right, what other celebrities are SCPs? I don't think we have a tag for that. I do not think we have a tag for tags. For celebrities. Boom. Boom. Oh, that was a long one. Cephalopod. Cell-shaded. Nope. Do we have one for movies? Films? Media, that would be it, and that's going to be a big, crazy one. Oh, geez. Desk. Oh, geez. First of all, Dr. Moonston, we did bring up Trump already, SCP-5004-B. Furthermore, content warning for sexual harassment and assault and general abuse, because it is something to remember that SCP-2137, codename the Forensic Ghost of Tupac Shakur, is an anomalous CD where an anomalous Tupac album where Tupac changes the lyrics of his raps in order to call out crimes that the Foundation then has to solve and bring to justice. Otherwise, being held at ransom, Tupac will reveal the Foundation to the world. And so, that's not where the content warning is. And the content warning is that it was written by actual movie director Max Landis, who was Me Too'd. And the Me Too'd reason is one of many reasons why people have a bias against this anomaly. Chats needs a refresh here. I'm having glitches on my side. Is it working over here? It's working here. Okay, chat, we're back. Chat, we're back. Dr. Sherman, is Gorefield the Judas to Jim Davis's Jesus? Well, I do guess that in a way Gorefield betrays Jim Davis, but it's a little more direct. Judas was a bit more subterfuge style, whereas Gorefield is literally chasing and pursuing, so I think it's not the same. I think we need another analog. Intern Snell. We, time check, we are 50 minutes into this 2 to 3 hour stream. So, we are about halfway to a third of the way in. Is there an infinite pizza box SCP, and if so, can I eat it? Intern Mortis, most people know about SCP-458, the infinite pizza box. And no, you can have some pizza from it, but if you eat the pizza box, there will be no more anomaly. So, no. What about SCP-4444? Intern from the Ethics Committee. I believe that one's the Al Gore article. Yes. And so that means Al Gore and George W. Bush come up to being anomalous as well in SCP-4444. Furthermore, Desk is telling me that SCP-3874 is Fidel Castro. Okay. Did not realize that Castro was an anomaly. That's news to me. SCP-3874 is the anomaly known as Fidel Castro. Does Benjamin Franklin count? Dr. Frogman, Benjamin Franklin's magical wish-granting penis, clearly anomalous. Clearly anomalous. And therefore, Ben Franklin, by virtue of having been the progenitor of Benjamin Franklin's magical wish-granting penis, is also anomalous. Clearly. There we are. Intern Minty Andrea. The what? Yes. Hold on. SCP Poor Richard. SCP-3313 is the severed penis of Benjamin Franklin. It does not decay despite having separated from Benjamin Franklin himself. And whoever holds the penis has reality-bending powers. That is SCP-3313. Desk is informing me SCP-2805 is the mythological, or so we thought, frozen head of Walt Disney. Cryogenically frozen Walt Disney? We have that in containment at Site 77. Think headphones. Yes. Yes, please, just wear headphones in public if you're listening to thing anyways. But also, in case your content creator that you are currently watching starts yelling about Benjamin Franklin's magical wish-granting penis, you will be glad you wore headphones. Oh, the SCP Foundation also killed Walter White, Pablo Escobar, Adolf Hitler, Mussolini, and Jeffrey Einstein. What? Dr. History Lover, you're going to have to tell me more about this. I'm a little confused about that situation that you're speaking of. I don't remember calling it a hit on a fictional character of Walter White. Now, we did discover just the other day that Lieutenant Columbo works for the SCP Foundation and is in fact anomalous. And we discovered that because Lieutenant Columbo was investigating Dracula. Literally Dracula. And so this is SCP-8897, Dracula versus Lieutenant Columbo. Can I date SCP-049? Well, intern Nikki, you don't have to. We've already done that. In interviews with SCP-999, we have dated 049s to be around 400 to 500 years old. So you don't need to do any other dating of SCP-049. We already know how old it is. Rebel Commander, thank you for donating again to say, a magic what? This is why we are an 18+ community. You are correct. The SCP Foundation is a adult community for a reason. There are a bunch of Draculas in containment, kind of like the Gizai. Puppy Turtle, do we have more than one Dracula? I mean, I wouldn't be shocked. Vlad. Dracul. Tepesh. So that one's only in, only full name is in 8897. If I go back to Vlad Dracul, Then it's mentioned in 8710. In a tale that's only named in all caps, one word, hand job. We were just talking about this being an adult community, correct? Anywho. Back to the chat. Time check. You keep skipping it, Dr. Sherman. Dr. Moonson, I gave a time check 5 minutes ago. We were 50 minutes into a 2 to 3 hour stream. Now we are 55 minutes into a 2 to 3 hour stream. I just said this. Why do the Foundation do not contain Siren Head? Intern Nikki, it's because Siren Head is not an SCP. The SCP Foundation database only accepts original creations, which means we do not allow stealing of other people's ideas and turning them into SCPs. Siren Head is a Trevor Henderson creation, therefore, it is in the Trevor Henderson verse, not in the SCP verse. Imagine if the Christian God is just a tulpa. Well, Tiger Claws Gaming, there is that recent recent anthology entry in which we accidentally used the collective belief of humanity to turn the planets of the solar system into deities, which did not go well for us. And so it wouldn't be shocking if such a thing happened for that as well. All right, what other anomalies are celebrities? Now he's got to start thinking harder. He's not technically a celebrity, but SCP-2430? Well, now I'm wondering what you mean by technically. Immortal Hitler clone, that's right. So yeah, it's just a clone of a politician, celebrity, genocidal monster. Tony Hawk. Is Tony Hawk a celebrity? Yes. Is Tony Hawk an SCP? Well, Tony Hawk is mentioned on the SCP Wiki 7 times. A couple mentions here. An anomalous, an anomaly affecting a copy of Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3. And then just a couple people named Tony and or Hawk. So no, Tony Hawk, not an SCP. Intern Ubs, welcome to Site 42 staff. Thank you for subscribing. Desk has alerted me that SCP-3331 is codenamed with apologies to John Cena! Sorry, noise warning. You just can't say that quietly. But a 3331 is a Sesame Street branded electronic child's toy with 10 numbered buttons and a symbol, so it's a toy. The -1 is a humanoid entity that looks like John Cena. But apparently is not the real John Cena, is just a duplicate of John Cena. Except now John Cena is part of the anomaly. Okay, yes, John Cena is an SCP. Okay, good to know. Well, hello there, little one. You're very excited to see me. Puppy of Interest 42, codename Charlie, is here. $369 Destroyer, thank you for your first donation of today's stream as well as being a member. Grab yourself some snack on your way past the commissary. So, okay, here's the thing, made a short about this. Oh, did they? Well, I will support friend of the channel. So, okay, here's the thing, by going to find that short if it's easy enough to find. It's kind of hard to find shorts like that. Good baby. Good baby. Okay, be free. And allergy medication plus wet wipe means I do not perish for showing you Puppy of Interest 42. Silent Follower, thank you for adding cat ears to this already animalistic moment. Real quick before I go short hunting, Oats, thank you for donating again to say, well, it's dead, but we don't got enough ammo to last another 10 of them. Can you send an ammo truck? Machine makes another, not again. Yes, we can have some supplies come from security there. That makes sense. And, okay, let's go to, so, okay, here's the thing. On YouTube. For those unfamiliar, So Okay, Here's the Thing is the name of a YouTube channel, an animation channel that does shorts regarding Dungeons & Dragons content as well as SCP Foundation content. So, good channel to follow for little bite-sized joy. Let's take a look at their shorts and see if... Just ask her out. Wait on hold a second. Super besties. Name dropping in the Foundation. Is that what you're talking about, maybe? Well, I don't know. It is SCP. Let's see if we get lucky. So, let's mute this here. The channel, So Okay, Here's the Thing. As I said, good channel to follow. And...
You're kidding. Tim, previously, June accidentally asked out Dakota's identical sister Carrie by mistake.
That wasn't supposed to happen.
June, you gotta come out of your room. No, I'm never showing my face in public again.
Can we have the video I actually clicked, though?
You're kidding. Tim Allen. Reality Bender. George Bush. Dr. Cairns. Nice guy. More parents aside. Ooh, Barack Obama? Originally non-anomalous. We replaced him with a bug at one point. It was a whole thing. Real one's a cyborg now. What's happening? I'm asking Dr. Shaw about different, celebrities and public figures and stuff to see how many of them are anomalous. Turns out a ton of them are. Huh, crazy. What about, Walt Disney? Well, his frozen head is an SCP, but we're not sure about whether he was anomalous before he died. Wait, the frozen head thing is real? Yeah. No way. Tupac? Perhaps all the ghosts. Kermit the Frog. Somehow I think that Kermit the Frog is... Oh, the Muppets are just real. What? I knew it. Oh, except Elmo. Elmo's not a puppet. He's, something else. Wait, what? What? Don't ask. How the hell am I supposed to not ask? You're kidding.
That's a good point. Cool. 2 weeks ago is when they posted that. I have not seen that, but hey, great minds think alike. Ambiance returns. And yes, if you enjoyed that little skit, go follow So Okay, Here's the Thing, friend of the channel. What's Elmo? Something else. Tao, good to see you in the chat. Hope you're doing well. Intern Frisk, thank you for sending a flower to today's Containment Hazard Assessment team. I hope that they appreciate the beauty of said flower. Do-do. All right, so back to the SCP database. Trying to think of some more celebrities that are SCPs that we haven't discovered today yet. Elmo is better off in their own category for all intents and purposes. We should be glad they're an entity with positive intentions. Good to know. There are so many SCPs. We have the alternate universe Challenger spaceship, which had Big Bird on it. I think Elmo's from 6690. 2736 is Richard Nixon, and 7149 makes your meal Richard Nixon. That's horrifying. Oh, I just saw about these the other day. Desk has alerted me that SCP-6595, codename Things Just Seem to Happen to People Who Don't Drink Wilkins, is the original Muppets. From way back when they were just a coffee advertisement. And so we go through here, and there's a lot of Muppet hijinks in SCP-6595. If the Muppets are real, are they contained in a facility or not? Intern Pixel, let's have a look at the Muppet article. Extranormal Convent, anomalous assault on a theme park in Anaheim, California, owned by Disney Company. It seems like the Muppets are not in containment. Which article? I'm looking at 6954. Object class neutralized. It was an extra normal event comprising of an anomalous assault on a theme park in Anaheim, California, owned by Disney Company. And so the Muppets went to war with Disney in 1989. Beef Harrow, thank you for sending a hundo and a bronze medal to today's Containment Hazard Assessment team. I'm sure they will keep it one hundo as well as strive for greater awards. Try Ed Sheeran. I would not be shocked if we had Ed Sheeran in the database. That seems like an anomaly or a celebrity memed enough that it might have made its way here. In the tale, Clash of the Cosmic Comedians. So this is Tim Allen versus Jerry Seinfeld. Coming back to the Tim Allen being an SCP. And Seinfeld is the one on our side? Ugh. I can think about 16 reasons why I would not want Jerry Seinfeld to be the champion of the SCP Foundation. Have you ever seen Ed Sheeran shoot lasers from his eyes? Said Tim Allen. No, Tim, I haven't. Okay, so Ed Sheeran, not an SCP, but at least hypothetically might be able to shoot lasers from his eyes. Huh. Apparently, thanks to Sumerian, we have SCP-4613, an anomaly surrounding actor Edward James Olmos. Is a shared delusion predicated on the belief that Edward James Olmos will immediately arrive at the location occupied by the sufferer. 4613 sufferers are capable of sharing this delusion, among others, at the same location through the usage of the phrase, Edward James Olmos is on his way. SCP-4613 lasts for approximately 3 hours, after which the originator of the delusion will convince other affected individuals that the events was a hoax. Secondary sufferers will, if separated from the originator of the effect, lose memory of this after it ends. So, is the actor anomalous, or is this a phenomenon around the actor that is not actually relating to the actor? It seems like it is unrelated to the actor himself. That does remind me, though, that we do have Jeff Bezos is an SCP. Bezos! SCP-5821, codename Vorzwazi. Vorzwazi is an anomaly where SCP-5821 is a persistent memetic effect throughout the human population of Earth that the flesh of Jeffrey Preston Bezos is the most desirable meat for human consumption. While all humans aside from SCP-5821-1 are subconsciously affected by the meme and thus wish to consume SCP-5821-1's flesh, only a small number are aware of SCP-5821 to a degree where they will attempt to assassinate and subsequently cannibalize SCP-5821. So, anybody hungry for a little Bezos? Chat, you feeling that Bezos hunger? Ah, yes. What goes better with capitalist cannibalism than cat ears? Thank you, silent follower. What about Elon? Intern Brown, let's see if that loser is anomalous. Maybe that's why he's such a loser. No. Why? Why am I going to have to look at this with my eyes? Why is it so realistic? Silent follower, thank you for brightening my moment of pain with cat ears. So, when I looked up SCP Elon Musk, I found a total of 3 things. Number 1 is an SCP article called Elon Mush. 3710 is an anomaly, is a 2-dog sled team consisting of the following components: 8 cybernetically enhanced dogs resembling those found in 2624, 1 sled compound composed of composite wood material, blah, 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 and 2 humanoid individuals claiming to be Elon Musk. So, Elon Mush is Elon Musk dog sled teams for some reason. That's 3710. SCP 4699 seems to revolve around Elon Musk dying in some manner, if I read that correctly. It predicts that Elon Musk is going to die in the year 2026 during the launch of the Atlas rocket. So, we'll see if that takes place in our universe. I want to see the photo, lol. Of course you do, SCP-049, because you're terrible. So, the last one, hosted on SCP Wiki, this is official. It's just called elonmusk.mpreg. Content warning for elonmusk.mpreg. Because yeah, no, we're all gonna take a look at this. You're gonna suffer with me now. Starting at the top, as seen in SCP-9009, white people, is the mpreg Elon Musk. What about a close-up on the skin texture and follicles? What about the weird stubby legs? Top-down view. Full frontal. It's right there. It can smell you. It's coming for you. Art by Wiki user Radian. Thank you for the nightmares. Amnestics are available in medical for those in need, which is all of us. Hell. 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 Coming back to the chat, refreshing. CD23, thank you for your 4 months as a mobile task force captain here at Site 42. We appreciate your membership and your service. Can we terminate SCP-9009? I don't think it's worth researching. You know? If I had the clearance to do that, I would do it in a heartbeat. Have you read Portraits of Your Father? Intern Smith, I have in fact read Portraits of Your Father. That one hits. That tale hits hard. Now, what other? Silent Follower, thank you for sending cat ears. I'm sure the stream feels cleansed of the horrors they just witnessed. Let me see if I do this. Pardon. We can't forget Ronald Reagan cut up while talking, even though that's not the actual Ronald Reagan. Of course, it's a classic SCP, and Reagan is in that tape. SCP-1247 seems to be Shia LaBeouf. Nope, backwards. 1247 is a 37-year-old human male whose brain has been altered that it sees any live animal, dead animal, or part of an animal. It perceives that animal as film and television actor Shia LaBeouf. So this person only sees animals as Shia LaBeouf. So it's not actually Shia LaBeouf, it's this person who perceives Shia LaBeouf. SCP-2090, if you're a sports fan, SCP-2090 is San Antonio Spurs player Tim Duncan, and is the title of this, the code name of this article is potentially XK Tim Duncan. Why is the basketball player potentially an XK class scenario? Huh. SCP-2090, potentially XK, Tim Duncan. Spider-Man is a celebrity and definitely anomalous. Well, Spider-Man is not technically an SCP, but we have 2, maybe 3, anomalies relating to imagery of Spider-Man, but not Spider-Man itself. We have an anomalous Spider-Man costume, and then we have propaganda signs that say that Spider-Man is the president of Chile. I think, if I remember correctly. Let me duplicate. SCP Spider-Man President. 6421. Yes, I was correct. Anomalous phenomenon that makes that has billboards depicting Spider-Man as the current president of Chile. Lenny, the demon angel, just to clarify to this person you're answering, Valentine. Siren Head, the Trevor Henderson entity, is not an SCP. But, as Lenny, the demon angel, is joking here, some SCP author thought it'd be really funny to name an anomalous ship with a figurehead that is a singing siren, Siren Head. That way, it could be a funny troll to everybody who pretended that Trevor Henderson's Siren Head was an SCP. Trevor Henderson's SCP is not... Trevor Henderson's Siren Head is not an SCP. Would the shy guy die if he saw a mirror? Intern Reinhardt, first of all. SCP-096 is an object, not a person. All anomalies are treated as objects here at the Foundation. They are its, not he's, not she's. So please practice proper pronoun parlance protocols at the Foundation. Furthermore, no. 096 already knows what it looks like. It gets mad when other people know what it looks like. A mirror only means that there are now 2 places you can look in that room to die instead of 1. So no, don't put 096 anywhere near a mirror. Julius Caesar was an avatar for SCP-6767, according to interview 22. Is that so? Ah, yes, I do remember the golden snake. Yes. The bronze snake. Yes. Furthermore, I just remembered that... Hold on one second, I gotta go searching for this one. That's not it. I never remember this one's number. I just gotta... Is it this one? Nope, that is not the one. Yes, here we go. So, SCP-5486. SCP-5486 is an anomaly that is a non-corporeal, extra-dimensional entity that feeds off notoriety. The anomaly possesses one individual at a time, so technically they are anomalies as long as this thing is clinging to them. And so the more famous you are, the more it wants to get you. And so this thing has contained several notable individuals over time, such as Hatshepsut, the Queen of Egypt, Aristophanes, the playwright from Athens, Greece, Marcus Aurelius, Frederick Douglass, Elizabeth Barrett Browning, Friedrich Nietzsche, Sigmund Freud, Archduke Franz Ferdinand, and Margaret Thatcher. It then took over something very notable in our day and age. It's the anomaly. What am I going to do? What am I going to do? I got to show you guys the research. There's SCP-4680, Grigory Rasputin, and 6861, Abraham Lincoln. Very nice. Intern Hunter Mark, if true. 4680 and 6861. SCP-4680 and SCP-6861. Oh, and you are correct about 6861 because that also means that John Wilkes Booth was also anomalous. Pardon. Because Abraham Lincoln was a Tyrannosaurus Rex in disguise, and John Wilkes Booth was a Spinosaurus in disguise. And then you're right, 4680 does seem to be, yes, just straight up Rasputin. There you go. Returning to the chat. Researcher Kemps, thank you for your 1-month member message. As a level 1 researcher here at Site 42, we appreciate your membership and your service. Hey dude, you rock, keep killing it. Well, thank you, Researcher Kemps. I will keep up the good work and I hope you do as well. Philip November, thank you for your first donation to today's stream as well as being a member. Grab yourself a chocolate croissant on your way past the commissary. Ooga chaka, ooga chaka, ooga chaka. I'm hooked on a feeling. That's good stuff. That's some good stuff right there. Researcher Kemps, thank you for sending a 100 to today's Containment Hazard Assessment team as well. I am sure that the chat will continue to keep it 100 thanks to your encouragement. Desk. I'm just gonna read this. Sure, why not? I don't know if this counts, but from the Resurrection canon, Agent Andrea Adams, the only other member of the Mobile Task Force group Clef's Bisexual Stripper Assassins, used the device to disguise herself as Scarlett Johansson to kill a reality bender. This is how the group got their name. ScarJo was considered to be a part of the group because of this. Okay. So, another example of why Clef is not allowed to name things. We have Clef's Bisexual Stripper Assassins, and we have Clef Eats Ass the Musical. This is why Clef is not allowed to name things. Arg Sands, thank you for the good luck, have fun for the Containment Hazard Assessment team. I bet they will continue to have good luck and have fun thanks to your encouragement. Philip November, thank you for donating again to ask, would the Tron universe be seen as anomalous? Well, admittedly, I've never seen a Tron. I don't know the franchise very well, but it seems like it's people getting sucked into video games. And if that's true, then yes, anomalous. What about SCP-6965? It's about Woody Guthrie. 6965 is about Woody Guthrie, you say. 6965. 6965. Yes. Well, there's a picture of 6965-1 is Woody Guthrie. Although they are persons of interest rather than the anomaly themselves. The anomaly denotes music and lyrics or physical objects carrying the following mimetic or probabilistic events: inducing the injury, misfortune, and death of individuals associated with reactionary political ideology or engaged in activities indistinguishable from same, or inducing idealism, activism, or efficacy in individuals associated with progressive political ideology or susceptible to the same. So the music and instruments of these people hurt conservatives and help progressives? I'm gonna have to look into this. Oh my God. The scariest thing about this SCP is its freaking scroll bar. I'm just over here like, hey, look at this anomaly. Look at this anomaly. Look at its tiny freaking scroll bar. Is this a novel? How much freaking document do you need? Ay, ay, ay. Got a freaking object class for that scroll bar. All right, come back over here to the chat. CD23, thank you for your first donation to today's stream, as well as being a member. Grab yourself a tall, cool glass of melonade on your way past the commissary. We need a way to buy desk coffee or something. Well, I believe if you go to desk streams over on the desk SCP at Twitch, you should be able to get your hands on a subscription there, which would in fact go toward the desk coffee fund. Dr. Frogman is loading me. The desk also has a Ko-Fi if you wish to buy desk coffee there. Phil November, thank you for donating again to say, we need an entry where the anomaly is the explanation. We needed an entry where the anomaly is the explanation. Elaborate, Philip November. So the description of the anomaly itself is the anomaly. We have a lot of SCPs where the SCPs affect their own document, and I believe we do have one where the SCP is trapped in the document. Oh, by the by, I just remembered another SCP celebrity. SCP-3448-J is the 26th President of the United States of America, Theodore Roosevelt Jr. Theodore Roosevelt Jr. is SCP-3448-J, has a healing factor similar to Wolverine, as well as remarkable stamina and pain tolerance. Held in a standard humanoid containment cell in, doesn't mention which site. Desk will return shortly. For those of you asking Desk questions, there was a number 1 doggo need that is being handled. Don't worry, Desk will return shortly. Furthermore, CD23, you're asking for Desk's Twitch. That is the Desk SCP. Phil November, thank you for donating again to add. The explanation of the entity would be what makes the SCP anomalous. Something like a belief that the anomaly is anomalous because it thinks it is. Oh, we're going to Tautology Club again, aren't we? So the explanation of the entity would be what makes the SCP anomalous. Something like a belief that the anomaly is anomalous because it thinks it is. This reminds me of that anomaly that I couldn't find the other day, and it frustrated me. There was an anomaly, but the containment procedures are in first person, or in that you are being talked to by the document. And the document is gaslighting you that you're such a horrible person who deserves to be contained, and that you are so terrible that the only thing you can do right is be contained. And it's very strong, like, abusive vibes. It's a mess. And we couldn't find it the other day. Jax, thank you for your first donation to today's stream as well as being a member. Grab yourself some French onion soup on your way past the commissary. And since you didn't send a message with your donation, simply thank you for your generosity. That's second person. Yes, that is true, Nulono. That is second person. I was trying to think like it's talking to you, but you're, yeah, second person. Dr. Sherman, what about SCP-2090, sir? It's another famous person. I feel like we've looked at 2090 today. Yes, Tim Duncan, potentially XK Tim Duncan. We talked about 2090. That one is on our list. Stephen Tambari, thank you for sending clutch to the chat. I'm sure it will come in clutch for their future situations. Have you seen SCP-9009? It covers a lot of old politicians. We did talk about SCP-9000 earlier in the stream. Wow, do we have a lot of politicians on the SCP database. Intern Todd asking for a time check. We are currently 100 minutes, or 1 hour and 40 minutes, into this 2 or 3 hour stream. And so based on the energy, we might go a little bit longer today. Do doctors that are anomalies be considered he's or she's, or are they also its? Intern Foxwalker, if you are an anomaly and you are a staff member, you get to have your preferred pronouns because you work for us. We do not give anomalies pronouns properly because that humanizes them. And when a humanoid anomaly, when you treat it as a human being rather than an object, you sympathize with it. And then you feel bad that you've got this thing in life prison sentence with no chance of bail for no crime committed most of the time. And so to ease that guilt, to make it easier to not sympathize with the anomalous humanoids and all, we treat them like objects. They are contained objects. Staff members, no containment, no need for dehumanization. Does the SCP Foundation sites have janitors? Of course they do. Of course we have on-site facilities. Hell, during a breach, there's a lot of blood to clean up. Jax, thank you for donating again. Forgot to actually write a message because I've never done this before. Sometimes I am small brain. Anyway, I was just listening to SCP podcast Find Us Alive. I'm really enjoying it. Have you listened to more of it? So, first of all, that's very funny. We've all been there, especially the YouTube Super Chat keyboard is especially broken, which makes it easy to leave typos and things like that. So yes, well, thank you for the first donations you've ever given being to Site42. We appreciate your generosity. Furthermore, I have not listened to more Find Us Alive yet because I want to do reaction videos to them still, and I'm just rearranging my tech after our move last year. Arg Sands, thank you for donating again to say, first real donation of the day, so grab yourself a bagel on your way past the commissary. What's the most average SCP anomaly-wise? The most average SCP? What do you mean average? Just like the most run-of-the-mill anomaly? Something that is just like, this is like the example of an SCP. This is the basic one. Maybe the moving ducks. Maybe the moving ducks. The rubber ducks are a pretty average idea of an anomaly. Where are the teleporting ducks at? What number are the teleporting ducks? We have a whole log of anomalous ducks. Interesting. I did not know about that either. Can't seem to find the teleporting ducks. Interesting. Well, I guess for most average SCP, I'll just say 173. It's the most well-known. It's a standard anomalous object. Easy to understand anomaly. Not terribly easy to contain. Not terribly easy to survive. That's pretty average among what we contain. Ember, thank you for, I think, your first donation to today's stream as well as being a member. Grab yourself a cupcake on your way past the commissary. Was driving, couldn't text, eat the rich. Well, I agree wholeheartedly. The teleporting ducks are SCP-3832. Thank you, intern on box. It seemed like I had so many rubber duck anomalies to deal with that I was unable to find the one I was doing. Why do we have so many anomalous rubber ducks? Raccoon Dog, thank you for gifting 5 promotions to today's Containment Hazard Assessment team. If you got one of those promotions to membership from Raccoon Dog, make sure to thank them for their generosity. We have a lot of ducks because I put more ducks inside SCP-914 to create more. Oh, don't do that. Don't do that. We have so many anomalies to contain already. Don't do that. That's more paperwork. That's more resources. Can everyone just stop making anomalies, please? Ah. Silent Follower, thank you for the cat ears. Chat, I hope you're happy. Oh, Argsans! Welcome to Level 1 Researchership here at Site 42. We appreciate your newly minted membership and your service. Welcome to Stat. Welcome to the promotion zone. Philip November, thank you for donating again to say, while I hate JK, you should check out how terrible Neil Gaiman is. I'll never finish the Sandman audiobook because of him. Yes, man, that kind of came out of nowhere for all of us, but yeah, Neil Gaiman being a pest is not great. Nor is, frickin' JK Joanne's issues as well. Bissalua, welcome to Mobile Task Force Captainship here at Site 42. We appreciate your membership and your service, and I'm sure with all of these promoted staff members we've had in today's stream, we will fare great in the battle against the White Names. I just checked, we have up to 99,999 SCPs. Intern United, you're over-exaggerating there a little bit. You see, if I go to the SCP database, oh, just one sec, just Pitt. Look up Council of Geeks, Neil Gaiman. Yeah, Council of Geeks did a lot of good breakdowns of the Neil Gaiman situation and the reporting around it. Also, tell Vera that I said hi. We are oomps. As I was saying, so we go to the tag SCP on the database, and we see everything that is tagged as an SCP on the database. After 102 pages of SCPs, we are looking at 10,131 SCPs at current count. 10,131. That's a lot of SCPs. I see, Desk, you're responding to Mystic Flower, who is naming some more SCP celebrities. I'll take a look at that list real quick. I just had to go in here and do some chat history checks. So, we're starting with 8094. Is 8094 a celebrity? $80.94 refers to a blog on Tumblr under the name Macaroon Cream. Is this a celebrity? What celebrity? Wow, that is a lot of Tumblr blogging. Okay, I'm not really seeing it in 8094. Refers to a blog which depicts the life of a subject from an unknown dimension. 8094 has depicted celebrities, people, fictional media places that do not exist in baseline reality. 8094 has shown the capability to find other posts that line up with apparent reality and has reposted them to its blog, but under further inspection, no blog hosting these posts have been found to exist, most likely due to esogenic stability failures. Okay. So I don't know if I would really count that one, but you had a list going. Let's see what else you got in there. 5751. We haven't looked at that one today. 5751 is disk-based storage medias. It's floppy disks. Why are you saying floppy disks are celebrities? Mystic Flower. That is 2 for 2 of these. I would not call them celebrities. If it's a third time a charm, I'm just going to assume that you made a mistake somehow. Check the files. I still do not see how 5751 is considered an anomaly. Or not an anomaly, duh. It's an SCP. How it's considered a celebrity. This is a bunch of... It might mention a celebrity, but the celebrities aren't the anomalies here. But I'll give you one more try. You said 1425. Is 1425 actually a celebrity? Star signals. That is not a celebrity anomaly. Now, as with Scientology, it's an anomalous religion that does have some celebrities who follow it, but not the same. So, yeah, you gotta be more specific there. You gotta be... You can't just take guesses or put the word celebrity in, because that is not going to cut it. Returning to chat from the history log here. Rave Haven, thank you for your first donation to today's stream, as well as being a member. Grab yourself a popsicle on your way past the commissary. Director, why do I keep getting sent to do jobs that should have been given to senior researchers? I'm only a junior researcher, says junior researcher Haven. Well, maybe we're testing you to see if you are competent enough for promotion. You ever think of that? Or maybe we're short-staffed that day. Could be either or. (1797-J) is kinda George Washington with a trigger warning. Oh, Dr. Frogman, you are worrying me. 1797-J with a trigger warning. 1797-J. A polymorphic codename George Washington entertaining a gentleman friend while picking his nose. 1797-J is a polymorphic oil portrait of former United States President George Washington. Behind him stands an unidentified male figure engaging in apparently vigorous sexual intercourse with Washington. George Washington entertaining a gentleman friend while picking his nose has been written on the backing with a felt-tipped writing instrument. Laboratory analysis indicates that SCP-1797-J is from an authentic time period. And then it goes through every president having their own weird painting or weird anomaly. Interesting. Intern Chris, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Grab yourself a Delaware omelet on your way past the commissary. I ran away from SCP-049 with SCP-113 to put it back where it was, but I didn't change gender. Well, are you some sort of inorganic mobile anomaly? Because it only works on living things, so maybe you're undead. Maybe you are... Well, it works on some undead, too. You must be some sort of golem or some sort of homunculus that is not actually alive, or actually a living being, or an unliving being. Intern DJ, you're saying that 9777 can turn into basically anything. So, the question is, has it turned into anybody we know? Is it living life as that person right now in a way that we can count it? Why is it an anime girl? I'm not kidding. That's not what I was expecting. Fictional characters depicting the style of Japanese anime act with autonomy. Analysis of recorded incidents indicate that the occurrence of this phenomenon, the character with whom the subject individual holds the strongest positive feelings at the time of the event, is active in the subject's vicinity. Huh. That is a lot of anime girls. Wow. Just how many anime girls can one SCP document hold? Feel like I need to slap the top of a car. This SCP can hold so many anime girls. All right, well, SCP-9777 is there for you living anime girl enjoyers. Dr. Sherman, after this, may I get some 999 therapy since this is my clone birthday, but the term I'm using for in RP, I am a clone. Well, that would be if you successfully route the situation that you are currently in the midst of, then yes. But you have to finish the job first. Ethics Committee is saying that it seems like Dave You Fool has dropped a new SCP-001 article. I mean, it is not news that an SCP author wrote a 001. We have enough of them. David Utica Foolfellow's proposal. That was 2023, it says. Dr. Sherman, what if SCP-096 wore SCP-035 and you looked at its face? Intern Will, we are not giving 035 that sturdy of a body, so we're not going to find out what happens. Yet. Research proposal denied. Tiger Claws, you are correct. We have more than double the likes to the viewer count of this stream. Since you guys and the Containment Hazard Assessment team have hit like so hard, the YouTube algorithm is being forced to bow to our whims, to bring us more people to watch our stream, to be introduced to the wonders and horrors of the SCP Foundation, and to help us out as members of Mobile Task Force Psi-42 codename Signal Boosters when we shout out the SCP Wiki's authors and artists, the animators, game devs, filmmakers, merch makers, podcast makers, etc. And so thank you for your service hitting that like button, bringing us more staff members to help us support the SCP's artistic projects. Arg Sands, thank you for donating again to say. Just realized that I should turn in my G-blasters. Well, we would like to study those, yes. Can FNAF and the animatronics be anomalies? Yes, they are anomalous. Definitely possessed by ghosts and things like that, that makes them anomalous, yes. Can SCP-3008 fit every SCP? We're not going to find out because if we put things in there, we won't be able to get them out easily. The door to the Infinite IKEA moves around when you're not looking at it, which is how people get trapped there. And so, if we put the anomalies in there, we would not have access to them to study them anymore. So we're not going to try that. Intern Wyatt asks, what's your favorite SCP? I always tell you my favorite SCPs at the end of stream. It's a bit of a tradition around these parts. But if you want to see that sooner, you can always donate and ask, and I'll just answer it for your generosity in return. Or you can cheat and go to yesterday's stream because I said my favorites during that. So I pissed off 173 help. Intern Deer, how can you tell that you made the statue angry? It doesn't really have much of an emotional outlet that's visible to us. Stampy, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Grab yourself a donut on your way past the commissary. I accidentally activated the Site-42 nuke by a coffee. I have coffee. And trust me, I have to personally finish the activation order for the on-site nuke, so we're fine. Dang, can't donate anymore. If I do, I might not be able to eat. Arg Sands, don't donate anymore then. Please. We appreciate your generosity up to now, but never donate to a point where it would cause you harm. Only donate your spare money. The goal of Site-42 is we subsist on the donations as well as the engagement people. It's a team. It's like D&D. You don't want all fighters. You want fighters and mages. You have to have different crews. So the donation team is very generous and much appreciated, but the engagement team is just as important. So if you don't have to donate, you can just like, share, subscribe, comment to us, as well as the SCP projects we're supporting, such as SCP Eye of the Beholder Season 1, the audio narrative podcast that's currently in Kickstarter, as well as SCP Gallionic, whose Kickstarter for SCP the anime opens up tomorrow for SOM Studios. In D&D, what would an artist be? Either a bard or a artificer. Maybe a dual class. Dr. Sherman, do you have any advice to make an X-Man SCP not feel like an X-Man? Not so much evolutionary, because an X-Man SCP is person with powers. That is what it is when you make it. The thing that makes an X-Man article good is if the story is well written, if there's things that happen. The classic tropes of, oh, this SCP is super dangerous and hard to contain, but it stays at the Foundation willingly because it likes us, and sometimes it helps us out on the Mobile Task Force. That's when you start to get, like, very cheesy edgelord kids writing their SCP monster. But SCP-4051, your friendly neighborhood Keter, is a good X-Men SCP. My SCP-5886, the Ballad of Jim Biggio, is a fairly good, not to toot my own horn, X-Men SCP. It's the story around the anomaly that makes or breaks an X-Man. Yeah, Researcher Tambari, I'm also struggling to think of any more SCP celebrities off the top of my head, but we went through so many, so we can still try Arnold Schwarzenegger. Let's see if Arnold is on the menu. Nope, Arnold Schwarzenegger is not an SCP. Turns out. Stampy, thank you for donating again to say, what's your favorite 001 proposal? That would be Lily's proposal, The World's Gone Beautiful. It is a short, evocative piece, and if the world's got to end, I would appreciate it if that were the way it happened. Nicolas Cage, no way that man ain't anomalous. Undead Nuclear Gamer, I would not be shocked if you were correct about that. Interesting. SCP-2060 refers to multiple 15-centimeter tall duplicates of various former politicians and popular celebrities, such as Pele, Bill Clinton, M.S. Subbulakshmi, Nicolas Cage, Nelson Mandela, etc. Each duplicate is dressed in the same attire, an unmarked black dress suit with a small circular badge depicting flags of their counterpart's nationality pinned to the lapel, a white undershirt on which unknown symbols have been sewn, a red and white plaid tie, and black dress shoes. Standard animal intelligence testing has shown 2060 instances that have cognitive functions approximately equivalent to a common brown rat. Dissection has shown the instances of 2060 are genetically and biologically identical to their human counterparts. Despite being miniaturized to the point where higher brain and bodily functions would be non-existent, instances of 2060 show no ill effects or are capable of locomotion, typically wandering and exploring their enclosure. You can use these miniature celebrities as cigarettes. When the head of an instance is ignited and the feet placed in the mouth, the user will experience the effects and taste of smoking a cigarette, up to and including nicotine addiction. While an instance of 2060 is being used as a cigarette, the user will either sympathize with the political affiliation of the smoked instance's counterpart or express greater proficiency in and appreciation of their artistic talent, depending on the instance used. So, smoke a Nicolas Cage cigarette, like Nicolas Cage movies more. Man, this is, well, you were right. Nicolas Cage was mentioned at the very least. Heats Flamesman, thank you for donating again to say, I'm choking on lava rocks, I'm fucking dying. Well, we can't give you the Heimlich because you are on fire. Like, fire as a person. So, you're just gonna have to handle that yourself. Oh, I know what I can do to make this work. Let's go to the search function. This seems to have not been a successful... All right, so 663 pages found. Let's filter for SCPs. We're down to 321. So what I did is I looked up the word actor on the database because, for instance, SCP-1247, the phrase American film and television actor Shia LaBeouf. So when describing people as an actor, that would bring up SCPs that are actors. Why does it... There's Hugo Weaving. That didn't work. SpongeBob is not a living actor. SCP-2730 is a mallard-like humanoid that humans perceive to be the American actor and comedian Gilbert Gottfried. This perceptive effect extends to the naked eye and ordinary camera viewing. Sonar, infrared, and thaumaturgic viewing indicates that 2730's true form is that of a human-sized duck. It has webbed feet and abnormally long cylindrical wings with tumor-like protuberances for hands. Its head is mostly similar to that of a wild duck, although the beak has been severely deformed and forced against the craniofacial area to simulate a nose and mouth. It is unknown for how long SCP-2730 was imitating Gilbert Gottfried. At the time of capture, it was found to be wearing a face mask made of skin, designated as -1, that enabled 2730 to resemble Gilbert Gottfried. Analysis of the -1 imitates is genetically identical to the real Gilbert Gottfried and was at least 10 years old in 2005. And Gilbert Gottfried seems to have died in 1985, and this duck has been pretending to be Gilbert Gottfried the entire time. So, in a roundabout way, Gilbert Gottfried's an anomaly. There's a celebrity we didn't know about. I'm going to keep going down that search, but I'm going to look at the chat first before I continue, because that took a little bit to find. Jax, thank you for donating again to say, how does the Foundation feel about using/making anomalous tech? Has there been even any Foundation personnel who defected? So, to answer both your questions, number one, the phrase "there is no canon" is important because there are some articles where the SCP Foundation just absolutely refuses to use anomalies when it comes to containment. And then there are some universes where we are more friendly to the idea of utilizing anomalies in containment or other situations. And so, yes, there are Foundation anomalies that we created ourselves and use them for certain purposes. It just depends on the universe. Furthermore, the Chaos Insurgency is a group of interest built of traitors to the Foundation. So yeah, people have defected in the past, and it didn't turn out great for us. Heats Flamesman, thank you for donating again to say, 457 fucking help me dead. Well, yeah, 457 has never been particularly friendly, not the helpful type. Arg Sands, thank you for sending another 100 to today's Containment Hazard Assessment team. I hope that the chat continues to keep it 100 based on your recommendation. What about SCP-3477? Will the real Harold Holt please stand up? Intern Hunter Mark, I'm unfamiliar with Harold Holt, but is that a celebrity of some sort? Let's look at 3477 and find out. The Prime Minister of Australia. 3477 is a collection of anomalous humanoids, each claiming to be the 17th Prime Minister of Australia, Harold Holt, henceforth referred to as SCP-3477-0. 3477-0 disappeared while swimming in December 1967 and is officially presumed dead. There are currently 34 instances of SCP-3477 contained by the Foundation. Okay, I think Prime Minister counts as celebrity enough. Not bad, Hunter Mark. Not bad. Dr. Sherman, how would we go about containing death claws from the Fallout series? Well, intern Nine-Tailed Fox, I imagine that we would just need some very heavy-duty material to keep the entities contained. Likely, based on their strength, as I'm seeing in the second season of the television series, perhaps it would be more of a leave them in the cave they live in and keep people away from them situation if we couldn't put the Death Claws in an actual containment cell. No spoilers for the Fallout show, no. SCP-278 is a famous autonomous sculpture. Does that count? I don't know. Let's have a look at 278, DJ. A large mechanical spider. Are we doing Wild Wild West over here? La Princesse, the showcase of a theatrical production. Huh. La Princesse Spider. Yeah, actually, that's crazy. So yes, 278 is this giant robotic spider, and apparently the SCP Foundation has deemed it anomalous, and all of this is a nice cover-up of it being art, performance art piece. Yeesh! Oh no, intern Hunter Mark, I also don't like them as well. Not a spider fan. Rebel Commander, thank you for donating again to say, how contain the Force or World Between Worlds from SW? I'm assuming Star Wars? Well, the Force is everywhere, so the only way to contain that would be to hide knowledge of the Force so that people did not know that they could utilize it. Beyond that, I don't even know what World Between Worlds is, so I have nothing to say about that. I'll take a quick look at it. Also known as the Vergent Scatter, was an extra-dimensional plane within the Force that served as a collection of doors and pathways existing between time and space, linking all moments in time together. That's dramatic. Well, then I would suggest we don't tell people how to get to the other dimension. And then it's contained. Once again, disinformation is pretty much the only way to contain something so vast. Let's see. Do, do, do. Do. Ah, yes, I remember that one. That's not one we're going to use. SCP-2491. Codename: Sean Connery ovipositing 300 eggs daily. SCP-2491 is a large geological structure closely resembling hives of the European honeybee, located 60 kilometers south of Edinburgh, Scotland. The structure is approximately 200 meters in diameter and has a single, large 5-meter opening on the southern face. It is populated by a number of anomalous entities that take on the appearance and demeanor of the various film and book iterations of fictional British spy James Bond, hereby dubbed Dash Ones. Dash One instances are notable in that they wear formal attire and are able to perform a number of seemingly impossible biological feats which parallel normal biological functions of the European honeybee. SCP-2491-1 instances are organized into functional roles based on appearance. These functional roles appear to parallel the castes of a standard European honeybee colony and are described below. SCP-2491 has one -1 instance which presides over all other iterations, paralleling the queen of a bee colony. This ruling caste has the following attributes. Appearance resembles that of actor Sean Connery in the 1962 Bond film Dr. No. Smokes what are believed to be Cuban cigars. Lays 300 eggs, 50 centimeters in diameter, every 24 hours. Secretes a large amount of pheromones which appear to dictate the behavior of all other -1 instances. Outside of this ruling caste, you have drones, workers, larvae. The composition of the drone caste performs a function similar to what a bee colony drones would do, expiring shortly after fertilizing the queen. They are composed of multiple iterations of Bond's creator, Ian Fleming. Acts and behaves similar to written characterizations of Bond characters. Engages with the ruling caste in a series of seductive attempts to ritualistically procreate. So Ian Fleming is trying to ritualistically procreate with Sean Connery here. Often using phrases such as, "I have tasted your mind and cannot forget its flavor." Alongside various impressive physical feats to court the queen, expires shortly after fertilizing the queen. The majority of the instances are worker caste. Workers carry out the number of roles that worker castes do. They are Roger Moore and Timothy Dalton bees. The mortuary and nurse bees are George Lazenby. Foraging scouts are Pierce Brosnan. The larval caste is miniature versions of Daniel Craig. Okay. So, the James Bond bees, SCP-2491. It's not actually the celebrities, but they are basically duplicates of the celebrities. So there's that. Returning to chat. Rebel Commander, thank you for donating again to say, Force sensitives can accidentally use Force at times. Well, if it was discovered, we would have to capture and amnesticize them so that they don't do it again. I mean, remember, every human on Earth has an anti-mimetic body part behind their ear that can only be perceived under a high dose of Nestix, as well as can only be perceived by one sensory sense at a time. So, yes, we're used to every human having an anomaly and having to deal with containing that. Dapper, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Grab yourself some sweet tea on your way past the commissary. Clocking in, anything crazy? Well, I think the James Bond bees were pretty crazy. The name's B. James B. You are correct, Intern Minty. I can hear them saying that in my head right now. Ah, never mind. Okay, guys. I found something that's interesting in looking at, but we have an adult splash page. We have a content warning for feature sexual themes or language without depiction of sexual acts. So remember, trigger warning, content warning. This is a 18 plus community for a reason. Also, Intern Mayhammer, welcome to Site 42 staff. Thank you for subscribing. SCP-4269, codename Fuck with the Lights On. (4269) is a collective designation for several pairs of cognitohazardous undergarments created by Group of Interest 7058, codename Inevitability Industries. Any subject who wears an instance of 4269 is known as an instance of -1. -1 instances will perceive them. Subjects who view the -1s will perceive them as a person they would consider their ideal standard of sexual attractiveness. This anomalous effect extends to all senses, including touch, taste, and smell. So you put on the underoos, and whoever sees you perceives you as their ideal sexual mate. The reason I found this is someone who tested these researcher Geraldine Stearns reported that the instance wearing the underwear looked like American actor Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson wearing only an apron. So, it impersonated an actor, it was not the actor. Okay. No more celebrities here. 4269 if you want to read that for your purposes. SCP-1502 is a humanoid construct made of leather, wire, and bone fragments. It has a limited teleportation ability, and it teleports near people, ambushes them, injects them with an anesthetic substance, and then does extensive cosmetic surgery to make them look like Mr. Feeney from Boy Meets World. Codename the Feeney Stitcher. This strange homunculus is teleporting around, trying to turn people into Mr. Feeney. So there's that. What in tarnation? Let me double check this real quick. Site 42 staff has a time check. We are 20 minutes to the end of stream. 20 minutes to the end of stream. What would happen if you put 682 into 914? Nothing, because we wouldn't do anything that stupid. Come on now. We banned biological testing of objects in 914 a long time ago. There's no way we're putting that thing in there. It doesn't need to be any worse or better. It needs to be gone. Doc, do you know what tachyon particles are? If yes, how would an SCP made out of them be classified? I mean, let's take a look real quick and see if we already have a tachyon particle anomaly or not. Well, it is a science fiction site, so tachyon particles are mentioned very often on the SCP database, wouldn't you know it? SCP-5175 is a recurring phenomenon in which universal tachyon flux will cease, effectively halting the flow of time. Ooh. If I search the database proper for tachyon, the word is used 106 different pages. If I narrow that to SCPs, we're down to 55 SCPs that include the word tachyon. And finally, tachyons are hypothetical subatomic particles that always travel faster than the speed of light and are proposed to have imaginary mass. As their velocity increases, as energy decreases. It looks like, based on that, we are not so much containing tachyon particles as we are measuring them, which we can do because they are not imaginary in the science fiction place that we are dealing with it. But it doesn't look like we are containing tachyon particles in and of themselves. Intern Fugate, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Grab yourself a cruller on your way past the commissary. Has there ever been an anomalous site that teleports around the world, and this is for research, and Chaos Insurgency is always open? Well, I hope they're open to being shot down. I would love it if they were open to being annihilated completely so they'd stop bothering us. Furthermore, I am unfamiliar with an SCP site that teleports around, except for the situation that happened in the Find Us Alive podcast for Site 107. And then what happened to Site 13 going from place to place. DJ, you're saying that Site 19 in the story of SCP-7001 teleports around. Interesting. Well, that certainly gives Site 19 something to do. Okay, well, there's your teleporting site right there for sure. The most famous of them all. What happens if you hit SCP-096 but don't look at him? It's an it. Please practice proper pronoun parlance protocols at the Foundation. SCP-096 is an it, not a him. Secondarily, looking at its face activates it. If you don't look at its face, you don't activate it. It's not that complicated. Intern Agnes, I do not know enough about tachyon particles to talk about containing them in a scientific sense. That is for the temporal anomalies department to handle. Can an entity be made out of tachyon particles? Your hypothetical entity. Perhaps if this is your focus of interest in research, perhaps it's time for you to write the SCP document about the tachyon particle elemental. Clear that. SCP-7590 are persistent anomalous events causing the death and subsequent resurrection of American actor, comedian, and producer David Schwimmer. 7590 events occur randomly and will invariably cause the demise of David Schwimmer. Within the time span of 1 to 7 days following an event, Schwimmer will be resurrected at one of his 4 homes throughout the United States, notably unaware of the event, but still recollecting past life experiences. Okay, so we found one, SCP-7590. Well, that's hecking anomalous.
Instead of a cone.
How effective. I was not expecting Donut Charlie today. Intern Gargi, welcome to Site 42 staff. Thank you for subscribing. As a time check, we are 8 minutes until the end of stream. 8 minutes until the end of stream. I am closing down the celebrity search and returning to chat for the last 8 minutes. Dr. Sherman, what's your favorite artificial intelligence construct? I wouldn't really think I have one. I don't consider them that often. Do you have a favorite artificial intelligence construct, Dr. Frog, ma'am? Do we have a list of Foundation AICs? (7373) Solomon, Cyril, Rosetta, etc. If you don't say 8-ball, I'm stealing Charlie. Look at the AIAD hub. Okay, AIAD hub. I remember reading the AIAD stories, or at least one of the series, on stream way back in the day. Alexandra, Great P, Raw, Thorn, 8-ball, Glaçon, Hatbot. I remember 8-ball was cool. I don't know a lot of these from the, Theodora, aka Fodder, is stationed at Site 42 along with Leonidas. Interesting, interesting. We'll have to check in and see which systems they are integrated within. But if I was going to talk about a favorite artificial intelligence, at least I wonder if it was part of Anthology. I think it was an Anthology entry. Now I've got to find which one it was. No, I don't want that to talk. I don't want that to talk. Nope. Nope. Stop it. Cease. No one wants you to talk. Every time I want to look at a man. Nope. I think I found it. Yes. My favorite artificial intelligence construct is codename Scion from SCP-8483. I find SCP-8483 to be pretty adorable. And a good little bean. So SCP-8483 is my favorite artificial intelligence construct. Thought I saw a question in this chat. I just can't seem to scroll up and find it. I hate when chat moves and I miss something. Where did you go? It's gone. Damn it. So annoying. Dr. Sherman, you never actually responded on Valentine's Day, or V-Day, maybe you mean Victory Day, I don't know. Can Site 169 send some SCP-7538s to Site 42? I don't know, do I want 7538s? I certainly don't remember this conversation. Oh, these are the blowhouse. The blowhouses. Wait. So we have an SCP-7538 that is blowhouses, and we also have a SPC that is blowhouses. No, we don't need any stuffed sharks floating around the site. I would prefer not to have to deal with those. Getting them down from the ceiling would be a hazard for the site's automated sprinkler system. Also, can you shout out SCP Uncaged, an add-on for Minecraft Bedrock by Julius Scissor? It's good. I don't know anything about this, and I would rather not shout out something that I don't know about on stream. Let's just... If there's something you want me to do a shout out for in the future, guys, because this happened twice today, send it to my business email first. Or especially, like, if the person reaches out and we can chat first. I don't want to jump on a project that I can't trust, you know what I mean? It's important that I think, all right, well, this could be good, that, da-da-da. So let's do those in the business email from now on, rather than just doing them live on stream. Intern Gunman, welcome to Site 42 staff. Thank you for subscribing. Make a Discord. We have a Discord. You just have to find it. It's an Easter egg hunt. And you will be given hints very soon. Also, don't go looking for it unless you are older than 18. The SCP Wiki, the official SCP Discord server, and our Discord server are all 18 plus for that reason. And SCP Site 42 staff, we are at the end of today's stream. And as always, at the end of stream, I tell you guys my favorite SCPs. Of course, I'm not going to tell you the SCPs I personally wrote are my favorites. That would be cheating. But if you want... But if you want to see the SCPs I personally wrote, you can go to the Sherm's author page in Site 42 Hub on the SCP database. There you can see the SCPs I personally wrote, as well as contributed voice lines or sound effects to. And while you're on my author page, you might find a list of links. Links that a lot of people ask about, but they just aren't clever enough to find, unfortunately. But that's not you guys. You guys in the Containment Hazard Assessment team are always clever enough to find those links. And while you are at those links, you can go to the Site 42 Patreon to become a patron, or the YouTube memberships to become a member to support Site 42 monthly. You can do a Ko-Fi or a YouTube Super Chat to donate one at a time, or you can purchase some of our sponsored merch. We just released the Reservoir Docs t-shirt featuring Doctors Clef, Crow, Sherman, Sumerian, Kondraki, and Weddle. And so if you want to support us by purchasing some merch, that is available as well. Either way, monetary support is the quickest way to keep Site 42's lights on for myself and the staff I employ. So thank you very much for your generosity in that manner. And if you are part of the broke gang, which means you cannot afford to do that, do not fret. Because if you are part of the broke gang, you can still be an honored and valued member of Mobile Task Force Site 42, codename Signal Boosters, who help support Site 42 by liking, sharing, subscribing, commenting, chatting, not just on our stuff, but on the stuff of the SCP content creators we support, such as SCP Eye of the Beholder Season 1, the podcast, which is Kickstarter is now a few days in, as well as SCP Gallionic by Some Studios, which is kickstarting tomorrow going live. We want more SCP projects in the world. These signal boosters need to support the project, and that's why I'm so proud of you guys for helping us out with that. 100 stars. Thank you for sending a 100 to said Containment Hazard Assessment team. I'm sure they will continue to keep it 100. Now, Site 42 staff, without further ado, my favorite SCPs in no particular order are SCP-3999, SCP-3043, SCP-008-J, SCP-Spooky-J, SCP-5031, SCP-5175, SCP-5320, and SCP-8980. Content warning on that last one. It's a bit of a rough read. Speed round. 3999304308-J, Spooky-J, 5031575530, content warning on the last one. It's a rough read. Site 42 staff, well, this has been another Dr. Sherman's Office Hours, a subsidiary of the Anomalous broadcast from Site 42. I hope you had fun. I hope you learned something. Be safe, be well, and as always, secure, contain, protect. I'll see you in the next video or stream. Some days I have to give right into the blues. Despite how I try to keep fighting, it's a sure shot I'm gonna lose. And I'll tell you why. You think I'm crazy. It's such a sad composition. But can you blame me for what's been causing my bad disposition? Ain't nothing new with my blue situation. And nothing's fine, it's just a minor variation. The credit song is A Minor Variation by Billy Joel. Be safe, be well, Site-42 staff, and as always, secure, contain, protect.